kakinya loh. Bum, bum.
Yeah.
Tak kuat pegang.
Kalau pegangnya tuh.
I was praying to God, like, I want something like this just for me, you know. I want my own community like this. And yes, when we moved to Bali, it was very crazy for us to settle in Bali. We didn't know anyone here, but then God put people behind us up until now, which is great. We have a big community here, like what I prayed for. And it's the starting, not not the end yet. So this is just the start, just the beginning.
Cuman kalau jemput anak-anak. Hi guys, I'm Jeff, this is Irma. We've got the pleasure of running AK in Bali. It's been a long journey. We've built the relationship over several years with the families and the kids there. Started off in the kampung on a tarpaulin. We've been so lucky in the past year and a half we've been able to take them out of that environment and bring them into a bit of a nicer environment. But that wouldn't have happened if we hadn't have gone into their environment first. So those first 4 to 5 years of going in there were really crucial in the journey of AK. So the kampung's located directly behind the Australian consulate in Renon. It's actually right in the middle of all the government buildings there. You've got the Ministry for Mining, for Forestry, for Finance. The Bank of Indonesia's got its major office there. And right in, tucked behind all that, is the kampung where we go. As you drive in there, you'll see it's a lot quieter than it used to be. There used to be 28 families there. But as the families are squatting, about a year ago, the government came in and bulldozed a large section of it. So about 11 families have moved out. We've located quite a few of those, but not all of them. One of the good things that came out of the demolishment of the kampung was the houses for the disability education kids. So there's three little one-room houses there, and they've got 3 families. 2 of the families have 6 kids each, and then the family in the middle has 3 kids. The first house contains a family with 6 kids. They have 2 older boys, a 24-year-old and a 22-year-old, Wayan and Komang. They've both got severe disabilities. One of them's non-verbal, the other one can speak a bit, but both of them are completely immobile without help. Then they have a younger daughter who has a baby herself, and then they've got their youngest daughter Ayu. She's maybe 2 to 4 years old. She's quite severely disabled as well. The middle house, there's a girl called Nilu who has the most amazing smile in the world. If you've ever seen it, you'll never forget it. She's 19 years old. She's also severely disabled, completely non-verbal, completely immobile, but she says a lot through that incredible smile. In the furthest house along, there's a family with 6 kids. They have 3 older boys who are all severely disabled. They have a 15-year-old girl who's perfectly normal. She's off at school. Then they have a younger daughter who's named Nanda. She's 4 years old. We thought she was normal, but unfortunately the father said when she reaches about 7, she'll end up deteriorating, forgetting how to talk and forgetting how to walk. So that was a bit heartbreaking for us to find out, but she's still an amazing kid. Their youngest is Gede. Gede's 2 years old. Basically, the family kept going until they had a healthy male child. In Indonesian culture, Balinese culture, very important to have a healthy male child to give the inheritance to. So they're going to stop having kids now. But unfortunately, 4 of the kids are disabled, 2 of them are not. It was actually when Woon and Jamie came over for the initial visit to start AK that Woon's daughter Nevada and my daughter Chloe started chatting with some of the disability education kids. And one of the kids in there spoke English, which really blew us away, because we know their families from rural Bali, they're illiterate. And we started to wonder, why is it that this disabled kid can speak English, even though the kids were spending pretty much all their days on their backs, naked, just looking at the ceiling with no stimulation. And that really played on our minds. So after a week or so, we got some special needs teachers to go in there and assess the kids and see if they could start a class. The teachers, Miss Wulan, Miss Agnes, and at the time Mr. Komang went in, they saw the kids and they were all for it. But when we went in and told one of the mothers of the kids that we wanted to start a class, her answer was, why? All they can do is laugh and cry. It was at that point we realised that we really needed to educate the parents more than anything else. And it was only the second class when that mother looked on in amazement and said, wow, you know, my kid can learn. My kid's speaking in English and counting. And since then it's just, you know, gone victory after victory. You know, we recently had the pleasure of taking the kids swimming with Jamie and Woon and all the crew from Red Frogs and from G4C, from Renegade. What an awesome, awesome day. It was just fantastic.
Terima kasih. Ya, makasih banyak. Terima kasih.
And then as we leave the special needs kids, we head over a little bridge, quite a rickety little bridge, which they navigate in the dark with no lights on motorbikes, which I nearly fall off every time we go across, especially when the river's rushing. And then in there we've got the first house, which is Atik and Wira. Atik's a little girl, she's been coming along, she loves Irma. She latches onto Irma with her best friend Intan every time they come to class. They love to have a swim after class as well. And then when we go down the path and round the back, we've got Duffer. Duffer, who's Jamie's favourite, who always says hello to Jamie Murray. He looks forward to Jamie's visits. Duffer lives down the back with his cousin and his older brother and his mum and dad. They're very welcoming down there. They've been there for 30 years. They said when they first built their house there, none of the buildings or offices around that area were there. They've been told several times that they have to move, but they basically say they've got nowhere to go. So they're staying until the bulldozers come, which is unfortunate. Hopefully it'll never happen. Back over the other side, we've got Ketut's grandparents who live in a little shack. We actually had the opportunity to come and rebuild a little house for them a few years ago after their original house was knocked down. So now they live in a little plywood hut. They often look after their grandson, who's dropped off to them every day, so they look after him for the day until their daughter comes back and picks them up. And then over the other side we have the space where we originally started, under the tree there, where we used to put the tarpaulin down. Spent many, many years there. There's a family that lives there, that's Intan's family. Her grandfather, her parents, her grandmother, they all live in a little one-room plywood house there, and always very welcoming. Down the back area of the kampung, there's a few houses back there, but pretty deserted now, so we don't have a lot of cause to go back down there. There used to be Bu Wiwit's house down there. Her little joke was she had the best villa in the compound. So after a big part of the kampung got bulldozed, a lot of the families moved over to the other side of the road. We go over there and we pick up Agus in particular. He lives there with his older brother and his family there. And we pick up a whole bunch of new kids who've been coming along. They're all very, very enthusiastic. We just found out last week there's a little church in there as well, so we plan on getting in and supporting that, going along and joining some services. The whole community there basically lives off scavenging. So a father or an older brother will have a hand cart or a pulled cart. He'll go around and collect rubbish during the day, bring it back to the house, and then the kids and the older ladies will go through it looking for recyclables. They'll collect cardboard, metal, glasses, plastics. They'll clean it, they'll bag it all up, and then once a month a truck will come along to take it off to the recycling factory. Unfortunately, it's the guy in the truck who makes most of the money, not them who do most of the work. So, you know, we're always praying about and looking at different ways we can supplement their income, you know, come up with business ideas for them, ways that they can make a little bit more money with a little bit less work, maybe a little bit safer work and cleaner work as well. So we don't want to see the kids grow up and do the same thing that their parents have done. We want to see them get a good education, go to school, find some work that's safer, that's cleaner, that's, you know, more productive for them, can give them a better lifestyle. And we know that we're a big part of that. If we can give them some good mentoring, we can show them that there is hope, there are people that care about them and want to sow into their future, then hopefully they'll learn that the sky's the limit. They're not held back by their circumstances. We've also found, a few little pockets of kids when they moved out of the kampung. It took us a while to track them down, but we generally do about 4 or 5 stops on a Wednesday when we pick up the kids. We pick up some really funny little kids. Kadek and his brothers at a little plywood shop. They live down the back there. Whenever the car rocks up, he'll give the shout out. Kids will come running out of the bushes and jumping over the creek and piling into the car. They're so stoked to come along and learn. We actually pulled up today just to drop off some stuff, and he thought it was class time. So he called out all his friends. They all came running. They were a bit disappointed when they realized that it wasn't time for class, but we'll go and get them tomorrow. Round the corner there we pick up a girl, Nabila, whose older brother Adon used to come. Adon's gone to go and do boarding school, so we don't get to see him anymore. But we go and pick up Nabila and her younger brother Rizki and her younger brother. They're coming along as well. They live in a tiny little boarding house, 1-room house with their mum, with 3 kids, used to be 4 kids. And they love the opportunity to get out of there on a Wednesday, to come along.
When we move to AK, we get to know to our neighborhood, and there's lots of kids here that also joining at AK gym. They are really excited. They are really happy to join our classes, and they're here every day pretty much, like every day, all day long. So every time we open the gate, they always rush into the gym and play and do their things at the gym, which is good.
Make yourself comfortable.
They started when they really young. There's 5 years old kid and 8 years old, but they can't even read or write. But now they're getting better, and back then they had lack of confidence. Now bit by bit we keep support them, and we keep to teach them how beautiful they are, how strong they are, how clever they are. So they are very confident and very progressive, which is good, and we can see they're all growing here, and we also have a good relationship with their families, not only just teaching and bless them, but also we have a good relationship with them, which is very important for us here also. They can't even hold a pen and everything, but we teach them how to do it in a fun way. We just make art and craft, and now they are growing up here. When we tired, or me especially, personally, when I'm feeling down or sad, or just feeling not really want to do the ministry, but God always give me the strength. And mostly from the kids, really, they was, Kak, let's go, ayo, kita mulai belajarnya, kita mulai kelasnya, let's start the class. And okay, with a bit of heavy heart, but then when I'm actually doing it, it's really a happiness there, truly joy in there. That's actually my reward also, to see the happy faces.
The kids in the local community, their houses are really only 1 level up from the houses in the kampung. They're still very, very simple, and they appreciate so much having these facilities to come and use. The art and craft materials, the gym, provides a space where they can come and play, where they can be safe, where they can learn, and they take full advantage of it. They really do appreciate it. Basically, all these kids are such polite, diligent, honest, hard-working kids. All they need is a bit of an opportunity. All they need is a bit of a break, and they're going to go so far. They've got the best attitudes. It really is an honor to teach them. They come and they teach us probably more than we teach them. They teach us what it means to be happy. They teach us what it means to appreciate life, to appreciate what you've got. So, you know, we often say we've got the most selfish role in AK because we're here every week. We get to see the kids' smiles, we get to see the kids progress, you know, but we're so thankful. AK couldn't happen without everyone behind the scenes. So many people, so many organizations, we couldn't mention everybody one by one, but you guys know who you are. You know you've always got a place to stay when you come to Bali, and you know these kids are waiting for you. They're waiting so they can share their smiles with you as well.
Inggrisnya 1.
One.
Nyanyi ABC coba. 1, 2, 3.
A, B, C, D, E,
Yang bahasa Inggris.
F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, S,
J, K.
U, A, E, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Duh. Kok bahasa Inggris?
Apa?
Enggak sama.
Gitu.